Okay, hello my friend, and then I am planning to give you information that if you have Nissan car and you have any ABS issues, it is good to take these cars drive shaft away and inspect that all of these drive shafts, left and right areas, these teeth, that they looks like this one. Now when I rotate that, it's good to rotate this drive shaft and check that there is no any sand or dirt is in there, because this is really important that those holes are clear and open. And there is then this my drive shaft, and then this another part what is in here, this goes to this car's gearbox. Okay, good, but now when we are checking these sensors in there, it is good to check that these holes where now I am focusing, that these are so clear. And what to do if they are sandy? We need that kind of tool, and we clean those all holes in that way. I take a little bit bigger view. There is my metallic spike, and I need to clean this all that way. Okay, and next I will show also that how we can take this drive shaft out in our Nissan car. Okay, and then how I can replace this Nissan cars, this drive shaft. And now we are in this left area, in front area, and first step is to take this car wheel and disc away, and then we can take this first part away, and this is this metallic pin in here what I am touching in here, and there is idea that we need tongs and hammer. And first I need to bend this pin in direct, and it happens so that I only a little bit move that, and then I use my hammer and I do it like strike in that way. And now when it is striked, next step is to start hammer this pin out in this direction, in this way. And then I can use my tools, and I move that away. Okay, and now pin is fine, excellent. And then we can go to do next step. Okay, and next step is to open, I have to open this central bolt and nut. And this is very hard job, because this is so tight. And that's I need to now do, so that I need to insert again this my car's wheel and tire back in this bolts, and then I need to lift this my car body back to ground in that area, because I need good this force, braking force, that I can open this central nut, because this is so tight. And next I install this my wheel back, and then I drop my car to ground, and then I show that how we can open this central nut. Okay, and now wheel is back, and then I have to take this, I have flathead screwdriver, and I bend, this is like in here, I insert this tool in here, and I bend that central area away, and there is then this my nut, and then I need my socket. Okay, and then I have to open this central bolt, and what we need, there are those tools. First I need this big socket, what is 30 millimeter, 30 millimeter, this is long, 30 millimeter, and then this short bar, this helps. And then I need this long bar. And look, maybe this is maybe enough, but I can maybe need an even longer bar. And now I insert that my tool in here. Now it's central. And then look, when I am trying to open that, and first I try to use my hand, and this is too hard. And then I think that if I insert my foot in here, that maybe this opens. But no, this is so tight. Okay, and what to do? This is normal situation, that this bolt is so huge tight. Oh. Okay, but no worry, I need the longer bar. And wait a second, I take my special weapon and my special tool, and we will continue soon. Okay, and here is this my special weapon, and this is like metallic pipe. There is hole in inside, and this thickness is like 5 millimeters. This is not very, this is quite durable, this home pipe what we can purchase in any hardware store. And my idea is to insert that my pipe in that kind of position. Look, and then I have much longer bar, and let's see what happens when I insert my hand in here. And now look how easy it is. We need only a little bit longer tools, and then this bolt opens. So easy. Now I can rotate that, and then when I rotate that, it takes a little bit time when this bolt is free, and we can look this bolt next. Okay, and now when this central nut and this bolt is free, I can take this my feel out, and then I need to lift also this my car body again up. And I will do that next, that I lift up this my car body. Good. Okay, and now I have take this wheel out, and there is this central nut, and I have this my socket. What size is 30 millimeters, like 30. And now when this bolt is and nut is free, I can insert my hand in here, and then I can open this bolt using this my tool. And soon this bolt in here is free, and this nut, and it takes a little bit time. Okay, and then this my nut is in this position, and we can look in also in that area. Okay, and now this nut is free. Excellent. And this is specific nut, and then we can continue. Okay, and then next step is to take these two bolts away, and for that purpose we need 17 millimeter French and similar socket, and then when I insert that in here, I can open this. And remember, these bolts are free, those tight, and that's I need this longer bar that I can open these bolts, because they are so tight in that way, and then I open, and I need maybe longer bar in here, and especially that bar that I can get force. Okay, good. And then I continue this my opening, and my purpose is to take those two bolts in this bolt and then this lower bolt away. And let's look at how it happens. Okay. Okay, and now I am working in here, and I am opening these bolts. They are quite soon open, and I do so that this is the opening direction, start, end, start, end. This is like direction. But I open those. Okay, good. And now this nut is free, and then this bolt is quite ready also. And then I take this lower bolt, and I have to keep both hands in this position. Okay. Okay, now this bolt opens. Good. Now both bolts are free. And then my task is to take these bolts out, and for that purpose I need now hammer. I take my hammer in here. There's my hammer, and I carefully hit. It goes up, off. Now it looks like that. And then there's the second bolt also in this lower area. And then be carefully, because that part, it can collapse. And then I can use my tool, flathead screwdriver, in this hole, and hammer bolt off. Okay. And bolt is in here, excellent. And then I can use that my screwdriver again and bend that little bit, that now this is like free, excellent. Okay, and then I need to little bit, because I like to take that drive shaft out, I need to little bit move that in here, and then hammer, using my hammer carefully. Do not damage this threads at this outer area. In that way, excellent. And now this drive shaft, it came in here, in that position. It is a little bit out, and then I press that drive shaft bolt more, and then I think that I have to be carefully with these brake fluid cables, and also this ABS sensor, that I don't damage those. And then I take my hand in here, and I am moving that drive shaft more out. And now it's quite easy to move this drive shaft in here when you look. there is my drive shaft, and then I take my hand and I move this drive shaft a little bit. Okay, and this I carefully move that. And now I notice that this brake fluid hose is too tight, and I need to take this part here away, and I have tongs, and I carefully take this part away, and then I release. I take this brake cable a little bit away. Okay, now it's more. There is more space, and then I can continue this my drive shaft work, and then okay, good. And now drive shaft is free. Okay, drive shaft is free in there. Excellent. Excellent. And then I need to go to work in their inner area, that I can take this drive shaft another part away. And let's go to look that next. Okay, and then here is then this my drive shaft and brake disc, and then I have to go in here this down area, and in that position I have to look in this area in here, and this is like this drive shaft, this part what makes this connection in this gearbox. And now I need to insert some tool in here and little bit move that in this way. And I saw that kind of tool is okay, what I have, and I insert that in just in this position. Let's look at what it looks like, and I insert that in here, and then I need to little bit move that in this way, that this part hits in here, that I hit this drive shaft in what is in here, that this drive shaft moves a little bit outer. It is my target. Okay, and let's look. Now we can see that there is this drive shaft, and it goes in here in that area, and then I insert my tool in here, and then I try to bend that in this way. And let's look closer, and there is the small hole. Now I insert my tool, and then I little bit hammer with big, but the bigger hammer then better. And I have in here quite heavy this size of hammer. It weighs like 10 pounds or at least 5. And then I hit in here, and now this may be open. Okay, and it opens. Okay, we can see that there is this hole. Hole is there, and then that part is free, and then I take my hands. I insert my both hands in there, one in here and second in here, and I only move that in this way. Something, and now this my drive shaft is free. Excellent, so easy. Okay, and then we can look this drive shaft, and this area must be always very clean, because this goes inside this gearbox oil area. And then we can inspect these drive shaft boots, and they look good. And there is also this ABS sensor location in here. And in Nissan car, this part is this ABS sensor location where this sensor sends data. Those holes in here. Okay, good.